Hey girl, hey. Okay, so here we are with the Get Ready With Me Chit Chat updated Q&A. And so girl, I'm excited. So first of all, I do want to say that I am going to do a part 2 because y'all actually gave your girl some juicy questions. You know what I'm saying? I asked y'all for some questions and my girls did not disappoint. So I'm gonna do some questions in this video and then I'm gonna do another one later and then I'm gonna answer some in there. So in this one, what really stood out to me was a lot of marriage questions about the babies and growing closer to Christ. That's what we're gonna be talking about. Your girl got me some sweet tea. I've been loving me some sweet tea lately. So my man just went about me a jug of sweet tea. So okay, so we're just gonna get straight into it because my husband took the girls today to go to his little cousin's birthday party, and I said, you know what, today I need some time to myself. Can you please get them? And he was like, I understand. So he got the kids and we're kid free for a couple hours. Hopefully he don't text me the next 30 minutes and be like, we on our way back. But yeah, because they left at like 12 o'clock. The party started at like 12 o'clock and it's now 2 o'clock. Like, yeah, I'm just now winding down to get here. Like, I did my eyebrows and my lashes because I didn't want to do that on camera. It take forever. And so I said, I'm going to just go ahead and like do my lashes and eyebrows and, you know, start from there. So, girl, let's get into it. So, first of all, y'all know your girl got her one and only primer, okay? Our Vaseline. So, we are starting with the marriage questions. So, the first question I chose, how do you stay being you outside of being a mom and a wife? Like, what are some personal things that you like to do all by yourself? And to be honest, self-care time. I do want to stress the importance of self-care. Moms, it's so important that you have time to yourself. Yeah, even for my husband, I like for my husband to go out. Like on Sundays, my husband go to the gym. That's like a way from him to get away, a stress relief. You know, have some me time for himself. I feel like me time is how I stay being me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you neglect that part in your life, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like yesterday I filmed a video of me doing some maintenance. I did my nails, I did my toes. The only thing I have not done is my hair. That's just something that I do to keep myself up so I can show up for my family. Now your self-care can be anything. My self-care is get my maintenance done, which I do on my own. I'm in a season where I'm done with the nail shop, boo. Like, I don't want to go to the nail shop right now. I just like doing it my own. Or sometimes I just like laying in the bed and relaxing. Sometimes that's my self-care. Sometimes it's just taking a shower, doing some skincare, reading my Bible. That's another thing, like staying in your word, time with Jesus. Another way I stay being me, okay? Getting on the phone with my friend, like FaceTime with my friends here and there. Sometimes we just be needing those checkups once in a while. Like me and Alexis got on the phone one day last week, I think. We was on the phone like 3-4 hours, boo. We felt so good. Like, she texted me a day after, like, I don't know what was about that phone call last night, but I felt so refreshed. And I was like, yes, I needed that. Like, and so sometimes just spend time by yourself, having that self-care time, getting your maintenance done, spending time with God and your friends, okay? So somebody said, what's one thing that you like about being married and one thing you hate or dislike? I don't know, because y'all, when I say me and Joe Willie are best friends, I'm sure y'all can see that, but like, when I tell y'all that's my best friend, I swear marriage is like a title for us, other than just like other stuff we probably wouldn't do as a boyfriend or girlfriend, but like, I think it's just a title for us. So I really couldn't say, like, it's just so much stuff that I like for being married. For one, it's having sex. Okay, people don't like to talk about this, but you can't have sex if you trying to live for Jesus and you're not married, boo. I'm just being real with y'all. Like, we can have sex anytime we want, unless, you know, y'all decide to fast from sex for a minute and get into prayer, okay? But other than that, y'all, like, I just enjoy marriage. There's nothing that I hate or dislike about it, honestly, because it's literally just a title. I feel like, of course I take it serious because it's a covenant under God. Now, somebody said, what's something that is different about married life compared to when you were single? Only thing is you have somebody else that comes before you. You get what I'm saying? So you have to just make sure that they are taken care of, they're pleased, they're satisfied. Just making sure the other person's needs are met. And I don't look at that as a bad thing, because for me, this is how I knew, which is gonna literally lead me into my next question. This is how I knew that God, I'm supposed to be a housewife, ain't I? I'm supposed to be a homemaker. I'm supposed to be a wife and a mom, ain't it? This is how I knew, because I literally feel so satisfied and fulfilled when I know my husband needs are met, and that's clean clothes, his sexual needs, just being real, his mental, everything about it. I'm telling you from the T. Like, when I know my husband and my children are taken care of, I feel so good, because it's like I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. How I view marriage is, because it's a covenant under God, taking care of your spouse is like literally serving God. And so there's one way that I worship Jesus, through serving my husband, serving my family. It's just so beautiful to me because I get to serve God through serving my family. This question says, when did you finally become content with your role as a homemaker? And were there times that you would fight God's will for your life because you felt you had more to accomplish? Girl, I ain't gonna lie to you, it probably was like January of 2024, okay? Like I said in one of my homemaking videos, I'm gonna put it in my description there. It took me a minute to adjust, because as a stay-at-home mom, in that category is stay-at-home mom, housewife, homemaker, whatever you want to call it. It's just things that you have to sacrifice, which is jobs. You're literally a full-time homemaker. So yeah, January of last year is when I really got content about it, because mind you, I started staying home with my children in like September, and girl, we had just got our house too. And I was going through depression, like on that job that I was at. Like, I would literally cry. Mind you, I'm pregnant too. And I was so worried, because that's how I had a miscarriage, because I was so stressed out. Like, I was literally crying every single day just because of my circumstance and what I went through. Anyways, if you struggle with miscarriage depression, I got a book about it, my ebook. I'm putting in the description, girl. How I overcame depression through miscarriage, how I healed, and etc, etc. So yeah, I understand. But yeah, I remember it was one day, y'all, I was stressed out so bad that I left work. I went in at like 9 o'clock. I came back out like 12 o'clock. Probably earlier than that. I was just crying and crying, and my husband, who was literally in the living room, and when I cry, I can't talk. I can't talk. So he's like, what's wrong? Like what's really bothering you and stuff? I really couldn't say. I was just crying, and so he was just praying over me. We came down in the bed, and he was just praying. So he was like, are you gonna go back to work? And I was like, I don't know. No, I don't know. I remember probably some months before that, we had this conversation. I would always be like, what if God called me out of the workplace into some type of ministry? He would say, well, I just be bringing in the bread. And I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, well, you expensive. So I said, well, I know how not to be. Yeah, so I remember that, and it's crazy because it was like, I felt God, like, that he was finna call me out of that in some way. I just didn't know how. Yeah, so anyways, I juggled with that for a couple months. We both had to adjust. I mean, my husband is taking on everything. But I remember one day we were sitting talking, because one of my friends is a stay-at-home mom, and I was just talking to her and getting some insight from her about how she managed and stuff and what she went through. And I started telling my husband about her, and then he was like, you know, I was actually happy when you came home. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. So that kind of gave me some comfort. It was still, because I'm like, dang, I'm really home. Like, I'm not working anymore. And I have always been independent. Were there times that you will fight God's will for your life because you felt you had more to accomplish? That's so crazy, because I remember my husband, he was like, are you sure that, you know, this is what you want? And I was like, yes. He was like, I was just asking because, you know, how people be like, in your 20s and stuff, you should be traveling. Like, he was just like, I was just trying to make sure, like, this is what you really want, because there's a lot of sacrifices and challenges. But it's like, if you don't go through any pain or suffering, then it's not your calling. I don't think that I fought God on it. It was like I had a knowing I was supposed to be here, but it was like, it was the independency that had to be broken, and the dependency that I had to start learning from God towards my husband and etc. But no, it was like I knew that I was supposed to be here, and that what I'm trying to accomplish is gonna come out of here. And so I never fought God on it. It was just like, this is really happening. Like, let me tell y'all, like, I genuinely prayed to be home with my children because I didn't want them under somebody else's care. I wanted to be home when they took their first steps, when they said their first words. I just wanted to take care of my children on my own, and God made a way. Like, the provisions that he has provided for my husband is crazy. Like, okay, so I'm gonna combine these two. It says advice for young married couples, and what are some tips you have for being a good wife to your husband that you have learned? So advice and tips. I do want to say that I'm gonna say when I got pregnant with Kyle, I ain't gonna lie, I started thinking about like a 2-parent household for her, and you know what I'm saying, just stuff like that. But I wasn't like stressing about it. I wasn't tripping. I was just like, I want her to have a 2-parent household, but like in the meantime, I'm just focusing on God. You get what I'm saying? So actually, when I had truly forgot about it, I need to do a testimony on how I met my husband, how God sent me my husband. I'm just not gonna do it right now. So when God started bringing him to me, he brought back that question that I asked him. Basically like, God, will I ever get married? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we forget that we been asked something until he bring that question or whatever we asked back to our remembrance. And that's how that was. And then when he sent him to me, it was like that desire to become a wife truly started hitting me. Like, God, this is the man that I'm supposed to marry, ain't it? Just like, this the one. I can truly say that I was ready before we even got married. And so my advice, I know y'all probably have always heard this, but don't stop dating each other. For example, there was a period of time, probably a week, I noticed a change about my man. We both like lovey-dovey. Like, our love language is touch. And he wouldn't kiss me like I wanted him to kiss me. Like, I wanted him to kiss me more than when he was kissing me. Basically, I'm not even joking. Like, when you come through the door, kiss me. You don't run to them kids. You kiss me. You see me, not them kids. Just little stuff like that. And so I brought it up to him, and then he was like, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll start back doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we get busy and we may lose sight of what we used to do for our spouse because we get tired, or you know what I'm saying, you have kids and your mind just be gone sometimes. And that's understandable. Me and my husband didn't argue about it. He was just like, okay, I'm sorry, you know, I apologize. And so that's all it took, a little communication. And that's why I wanted to talk about communication is key. If you feel like you can't speak it, talk about it yet, pray about it. And I promise you, God works in ways that, I mean, the little things that we don't think he cares about, he cares about. Because you could pray about it and your spouse could bring it up. He has done me like that plenty of times, boo. Sometimes I feel like I didn't know how to say something and I pray about it, then he'll bring it up and I'm like, God, I see you. God, I see you. Don't stop dating each other. Communication. Always look for new ways to love your spouse. I mean, keep the fire burning. Just like you would with Jesus. Keep your fire burning. Keep the love burning and flowing. Like, love your man, boo. Love your man, okay? It's okay to love your man. Love your man. I love my man down. Okay. Godly community. Me and my husband has not found that godly community yet, but I know for a fact that godly community, like, I have a godly friend that I can go to. He have a godly friend that he go to, but we don't have a godly community. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. Now, keeping people out your marriage, and that is so true. Don't tell everybody. Baby, don't tell nobody about what you and your man got going on in your marriage. Unless, yeah, you have somebody that you can go to, that they're going to hold you and your spouse accountable. They're going to tell you what you're doing and you're wrong. It don't matter how you feel. If they just telling you straight up right or wrong, like, you need that. It's not going to tell your mom and your daddy or your brother, your sister, your uncle about everything that's going on in your marriage. You don't need outside opinions. No, because when you get these outside noises, it's like you're hearing this, you're hearing that. No. Sometimes if you can't go nobody, go to God. I'm telling you, if you're not hearing it as fast as you would like, don't stop praying. Forgiveness, you guys. Me personally, I don't know why, but I've always had a forgiving heart. It don't matter how anybody have done me. Like, you could have done me dirty, but I don't know why. God has never allowed me to do other people how they do me. I just have a loving heart, and I thank God for it. I thought it'd be a blessing and a curse, but I thank God for it because it has helped me in my marriage. My husband do not like to say sorry as fast as I can. My mind immediately thinks about stuff that could happen. You know, me and my husband in a disagreement, something could happen. I never told you I loved you. I never told you goodbye or I'll see you later. Right? I'm always thinking that way. It could be something that we got into a disagreement about that it wasn't even my fault. And it's like, you know what? I would say something like, I'm sorry if I made you feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. And then he will come to me and talk to me about how you truly feel. So sometimes being a bigger person, forgiveness, even when your heart feels like it's trying to harden against your spouse. I truly base my marriage on biblical principles, and not out of I have to, but because I love Jesus. And Jesus literally helps you love. And this is another advice to y'all. Get in that true relationship with Jesus, because when you get a relationship with Jesus, it's easier to love your spouse. Like, I'm not even joking, because you think about, how would God respond? How would God feel about this? Or am I pleasing God? You know what I'm saying? Being able to communicate with your spouse, forgiveness, having a relationship with Jesus, or don't stop dating each other, don't stop loving each other. I mean, prioritize time for one another. Like, that is truly important. If you have kids, or even if you don't have kids and you have busy schedules, take a day out of that full week or 2 days and make it about y'all. It could be just y'all sitting on the couch enjoying a movie, but y'all having that intimacy or some type of intimacy once a week. I'm telling you, y'all, it literally makes a difference. Prioritize your time with your spouse, because I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep my man happy, okay? And vice versa. Like, just that. Okay, so got this question a lot. Are you all stopping at 2 kids or plans for more in the future? Girl, let me tell you, I think I'm pregnant right now. I ain't even lying to y'all. Mama, if you see this, well, your girl thinks she pregnant right now. I ain't even joking. But no, I wanted 3 kids. Joel has told me, he was like, I really want a big family, but he was like, if it wasn't so expensive then. But I want to stop at 3. I actually do. I do want me a boy. I do. But if I don't, oh well. If I am nothing but girls, thank you, Jesus. But girl, yes, we not stopping at 2. Joella has told me when Peyton gets about Kai age, then we'll try again. But if I'm pregnant right now, boo, probably will be my last. Y'all, we doing this as I take down my hair, okay, boo? So, advice for young women who want to grow closer to God. Baby girl, let's talk about growing closer to Jesus. Of course, we know to read our Bible. We know to praise, worship. If you're struggling with reading your Bible, if you're struggling with staying consistent with your relationship with Jesus, I want to say fast. People don't like talking about fasting, but to be real with you, this is how you strengthen your relationship with God. This is how you really grow closer to God. Because when you fasting, you're literally saying no to your flesh. You're not giving in to the pleasures. Like, you want to procrastinate about reading your word, when you want to procrastinate about praying, fasting gonna make you do all of that and more. And that's the purpose. Like, fasting is seeking to strengthen your relationship with Christ. When I feel as if my relationship with Christ is getting dull, my fire is going out, I don't have that same zeal that I have for him and spreading the word, etc., etc., I know it's time for me to fast. If just not reading my word and praying is not doing the trick, I'm fasting and I'm praying. I'm fasting because I need to die to my flesh. I need to give up something for him, something that's pleasing to me. So, like, if that is entertainment, like, give up watching TV, give up watching certain shows and stuff. Like, we ain't binge watching on Netflix. Like, we giving our time fully devoted to Jesus. And when I tell you that will strengthen your relationship, y'all. Also, another thing is discipline. When I tell you discipline eventually becomes a desire, that's not a lie. It may take just a few days, but when you discipline yourself and you start doing it when you don't feel like it, then after you do it, you feel so good, so motivated, so accomplished. It turns into a desire. It's no more, oh, I'm having to do this. No, it's I want to do this. I want to read my word. I want to stay away from things that's causing a hindrance on my relationship with God, that's distracting me from getting closer. So it's fasting, it's discipline, honestly. Like, if you truly want to get closer to God, girl, it's giving up things that you don't want to give up. It's all or nothing. Like, that's it. It's all or nothing. Whatever that is for you, girl, it's time to give it up. It's time to give it up. This question, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here since I talked about me being depressed while I left work and stuff, etc. How do you heal from depression and anxiety and mental health struggles? Like I said, y'all, I got an ebook and I'm gonna put it down there, Overcoming Depression and Healing. I have battled depression. It is not an easy fight. Mental illnesses, mental struggles are literally spirits. So you have to bring that to God. Like, God, I'm casting this away. Like, I'm not claiming this. You get what I'm saying? So how did I heal from depression? Y'all, it's literally taking it one day at a time, because you just don't pop out like that. It takes time. I never truly dealt with anxiety though, so I can't really speak on it. Just depression, especially when I had that miscarriage, y'all. It was a fight. But when I tell y'all, it took me a month. Let me tell you how I really healed. I was tired of being tired. Like, I was tired of crying every day, just feeling so heavy. Like, my spirit, my body, everything just felt so heavy, and I got tired of feeling like that. I remember getting this one thought, like, man, like, I'm a child of God. Like, I have authority over this. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna discipline myself and just go ahead and give it to God, because I have a little girl who needs me. And so every single day before I went to work, when I got in from work, while I'm at work, y'all, listen, I would get in my word, write to God, take notes, pray, worship, everything I could do literally to keep my mind off of what I had then went through with the miscarriage and etc. When I tell y'all there is gems in my ebook, not because I'm trying to sell it, but there is so much information that I got in there, things that has helped me. If you dealing or going through like some type of mental struggle or depression, it definitely gets better. You just gotta take it day by day and truly give yourself to Jesus. Like, fully devote your time, your attention to God, and I promise you, it's like you will start to see how your mind is no longer on it, and you will be able to look back like it don't even bother me like it did no more. Put it behind me, man. Like, I was like, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to keep going through this. I don't want my mind just keep thinking about this over and over. Like, there's something else that I should be doing. Like, I feel like I need to be doing. I got to be doing. And I just started reading my word. And if that was 3-4 hours at a time, I'm reading my word. I'm watching godly content. I'm cleaning. I'm working out. I'm walking. I'm doing something, okay? I'm not just sitting there. And that's the thing about depression. Depression will try to keep you literally stuck. And it's just important that you get up, you get out, you fix yourself up, you do something, man. Like, you don't let it keep you in a rut. You don't stay in your room all day. That's how the enemy gets you. Okay, girl, so this is how we got the hair right now. I don't feel like doing anything to it right now. But anyways, before I end the video out, I want to go back to like marriage advice and stuff. I do want to say though, if like somebody just planted that in your head, like marriage is boring, like when you get married, everything's gonna change and stuff, girl, don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies, girl. I feel like marriage is just beautiful. Me and my husband's marriage is very beautiful though. And I praise the Lord. Just simply the love that my husband and I both share, because sometimes it be feeling so unreal. Cause I be like, how do we love each other that bad? Like, I be like, I'm in love with you so bad, I feel like it's unhealthy. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I feel like, if anything, I have gained so much since I have been married. It's what you make it. And me and my husband talk about that all the time. He always talk about how he feel like his life just, you know, went up since we got married. And I just love it, girl. I just love it. But that's the end of this video, girl. My husband and kids just made it back. So I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoy.